We are now listening and events music. We are now listening and music.
And family and rising. 7 minutes past the top of the hour. 37 minutes. Happy Tuesday. You're good wine, fruitful wine, productive wine. Come to the media of the 21st century. Yes, Caribou Nissan, I hope you guys are doing amazing this wonderful afternoon and, of course, morning on your end, whatever you're catching this live from, whatever the time you're going to be catching this on a repeat. Hope you're going to be enjoying. But Karibu Sana to get another beautiful conversation right here on the media of the 21st century. This is Black Hot Fire Network that was harmonized with Zanzibar. And, of course, today it's a big day to Tanzanians, literally, or for Tanzania. We're looking forward to literally see what is happening in the streets of Tanzania, but not a lot. I'm going to be keeping you updated because today is the day, literally, where the people were supposed to go out after the deadly, literally, killings and the demonstration that took place. That was on the 29th of October, which led to so many killings of young people, innocent people, women who are also pregnant. So many details coming out still out of that killing and masquerade that happened in Tanzania. But still, a lot is happening today. We have today is supposed to be the Independence Day, but the country, of course, is celebrating this in a very different way. And of course, apart from just the demonstration, the Tanzanian did actually block the Independence Day protest, calling them a coup. We're going to be discussing this because there's a difference. I've been talking about the terms. They need to be very careful how they actually use the terms because do you understand what a coup is? Can you ask Benin what a coup is? Can you ask Guinea-Bissau what a coup is or Madagascar? Because stop using terms for the sake. We're going to be talking also about what is happening in Congo and Rwanda. Yesterday we saw literally after the peace talk deals, over 700 people were actually displaced. And the question goes back to actually this puppets and also the people to actually realize what is happening in the country or when it comes to the US being our friend or our cooperation or literally seeking any interest when it comes to Africans. The peace talks were fake. We're going to be talking about now. KD is back accusing Rwanda of breaking ceasefire within 24 hours and much more also coming from Kenya. More literally troops have been deployed in Haiti. We're going to be seeing how this is going to be effective, of course, to Haiti. We know already the story and so much coming now also from Burkina Faso, which is our major conversation where 11 Nigerian soldiers have been detained. This is for actually violating the airspace of the Alliance Health States. So, of course, those are our conversation for today. Stay tuned. But before we get started, a quick reminder to get yourself our amazing organic supplements on our application. Where through the app, actually, you can listen to us via the radio, and also through the app, you can get yourself amazing hoodies. You can stay updated on the news and updates, literally globally. Wherever you are, you're going to be catching these news and updates, literally. Just as long as you're connected to the internet, ensure you download the Black Hot Fire Network, and of course that you can find on the Google Play Store. If you are an Android user, Black Hot Fire Network is the name. If you're using a laptop, www.blackhotfirenetwork is our website link. But for now, I love sharing some brain and focus so you can pour critical thinking, because I see this is very important.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Stay healthy, stay focused. This is very, very important. And ensure you apply critical thinking as you focus and stay healthy. Good morning, good afternoon to Joe Mosquito. Hope you're doing amazing today. Nice to see you and welcome to today's conversation. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Burkina Faso, which has detained 11 Nigerian soldiers. And this is over the violation of their airspace. But as we get started, we're going to start with what is happening in Tanzania. Been keeping you guys updated on this demonstration that was supposed to be taking place today. And there's no much information on news. People actually have been scared, according to what I've seen, the research I've done, the videos I've been able to see. Most people are actually indoors. The people are scared to demonstrate. But yesterday at night, I've seen some videos. Some people had started demonstrating in some other places of the country. But today, it seems that the people actually chose to stay indoor. But currently, this is at the border. This is the situation at the Tanzania-Kenya border, where they secured it is secured with military, because last time we had Kenyans who also trespassed and went all the way supporting Tanzanians. And this happened the same time we also had when Raila was dead, when Raila was pronounced literally diseased, and we had literally Kenyans actually went to Tanzania and released the opposition, and they were trying to cross him towards the border to come and attend the Raila funeral. But that was not possible. But this is the situation currently at the border. Where we pass, literally where we get our passport stamped and all that, the documents before you go ahead with the trip. But yeah, that is the situation currently happening at the border. But much more information. We had, like I said, some places of the country. I don't have much details because I'm not seeing these videos also on other platforms. This is just from TikTok. So earlier today, we had some places of the country where some people actually did turn up, but the number is not as last time. This is what is happening.
Bora mtuwe.
Sasa hivi ni saa 3, barabara hazina watu. Siku kusherehekea uhuru, watu wamefungiwa ndani kama panya.
So it's Independence Day, but people are not even outside.
On December 9th, 2025.
What independence are you celebrating? That should go back again. This is a very serious topic that African people need to have. It's Independence Day, and the day that people have actually decided we don't believe in this current independence that we have, and especially with the leader that we have, because we just try to put our expression of practicing democracy, which includes independence, right? And the results are killing people, you know, and she justified even, we're going to allow the police to use force, because at the end of the day, other countries do do the same thing, because it's the same tactic. That's why she even had the audacity. Sorry about that. That's why she even had the audacity of going ahead and talking about how other countries are doing the same thing and why should apply the same force when it comes to demonstration. So the question is, back to independency. How is this an independent country? Well, during Independence Day, this is actually being done by just government officials. The details, not sure where, but I saw an article somewhere which was saying that this is done in a very different way. And the people, of course, are not allowed to be outside unless you're going to work, which also when you're going to work, I've seen some videos, there's no means of transport, which she said she actually, with the effective, with immediate effect, that was 2 weeks ago, actually last week or 2 weeks ago, she had said that the buses, the bikes, the tuk-tuks should not be given more than 2 liters of kerosene or gas. So it's crazy. How is this Independence Day?
And currently, the streets in Dar es Salaam are completely empty. People are indoors. And one man even said, and I quote, "We are locked inside like rats," end of quote. This is because the Tanzanian...
Exactly. Because how is this Independence Day? Exactly. You're locked inside like rats.
Government said it was illegal to protest today, and they ordered people to stay indoors even though today is Independence Day. Police officers have set up roadblocks in different parts of Tanzania. For example, in Salenda Bridge, they have set up a roadblock and they are preventing people from going downtown ahead of the nationwide protests today. There is heavy security presence in Kisesa Mwanza, and military officers can be seen along the main road, and they are many in number. I've seen some Tanzanians commenting under videos that they are just taking breakfast and they're going to go out shortly, but we'll see what unfolds and I'll keep you updated.
Mambo vipi?
So some videos are literally, you don't believe some videos, because if you understand right now, so some TikTokers or some people on TikTok, they'll take videos from the other previous demonstration and use this day as an advantage of putting them on their platform to gain numbers, so that when you come search the demonstrations of today, you're going to be confused. So understand, because you can see clearly the streets are very, very clean, from the borders to Mwanza to Dar es Salaam itself. Literally so many places people are indoors.
So tonight we begin in Tanzania, where tension has escalated as President Samia Suluhu's administration outlawed planned demonstrations scheduled for Tuesday. The government says that the nationwide protests are illegal, raising the risk of clashes with Tanzanian authorities. Human rights groups have urged the government to protect citizens who may turn out, even as Tanzanians engage in mass panic shopping ahead of the protests following the stay-at-home order. Stephen Leto has the details.
On the eve of a planned nationwide demonstration, Tanzania is on the edge as opposition supporters gear up to protest President Samia Suluhu's administration on Independence Day. Streets of Dar es Salaam are swarmed with locals panic buying following the government's stay-at-home order ahead of the protests.
Nimewaita hapa kujaribu kutumia vyombo vyenu vya habari kuwaambia Watanzania maandamano hayo ni haramu, hayaruhusiwi.
Tanzania Prime Minister Mwigulu Nchemba, delivering President Suluhu's message on the eve of Independence Day, urged citizens to stay indoors and let's engage in essential duties.
Serikali inawashauri wananchi wote ambao tarehe 9 Disemba 2025 hawatakuwa na dharura kuitumia siku hiyo kwa mapumziko, hivyo kusherehekea siku hiyo wakiwa nyumbani, isipokuwa kwa wale ambao majukumu yao ya kazi yanawataka kuwepo katika vituo vyao vya kazi kama ambavyo wataelekezwa na viongozi wao.
Several activists leading the demonstrations in Tanzania have been arrested, sparking condemnation from human rights defenders across East Africa, who are calling on Suluhu.
What human rights? Which human rights? This human rights never does anything. Who controls these human rights? What's human rights? when repeatedly the human rights are being violated, who is really standing for human rights? They need to stop with that bullshit. That's their defense mechanism. The human rights is condemning the human. What have they done so far with the many lives that have been violated? Nothing.
Whose government to allow the protests to proceed peacefully.
Behind the facade of a poorly run election, Suluhu's regime has overthrown the constitution, weaponized state institutions to crush democratic demand, and engineered family rule.
Tanzania is confronting not just a political dispute, but a human rights catastrophe, rooted in elite family rule.
Down with Samia, down.
Down.
Down with Samia, down.
Down.
Watanzania waungane wasiungane.
Waungane.
Watanzania wasimamie haki zao wasisimame.
Wasimame.
Human rights defenders who were speaking in Nairobi also accused Suluhu's government of abusing police power during past election protests, leading to several deaths. They are now urging restraint during Tuesday's demonstration.
Not several deaths. Those were many deaths. We're talking about over 10,000 people plus who died. Not several deaths.
We demand the guarantees that the security services must act with restraint and within the law in protecting the fundamental rights and freedoms of citizens, especially at the time when state authority is weakened by legitimacy crisis.
Speaking from Mombasa, Vocal Africa, another lobby group, confirmed they will be monitoring the Tanzanian protest and observing how police handle participants.
As Kenyans and East Africans, we want to assure Tanzanians that we stand with them during this difficult time, and tomorrow we will be in solidarity, we will be with them in prayer and also in action.
While the majority of Tanzanians have chosen to remain indoors, reports from several border towns in Kenya indicate that numerous Tanzanians have crossed into Kenya over the past week, seeking refuge amid fears of potential clashes with authorities at home. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
Yeah, so that is update what is happening in Tanzania, and I read the first comment here. Someone was saying panic buying is such a cowardly move. It just confirms the government that they've subdued you as a people. And exactly, I do agree, because why are you panic buying? Because the moment you're doing that, actually you're agreeing to the terms. You stay at home. You don't have a right to practice democracy. And then the question of independency too applies. How is it Independence Day, but the people are actually out indoors, like the man said, like a rat? Why are you being kept indoors like pets? This is so crazy, but that is actually Tanzania of today, and that is what is happening. So we'll be keeping you updated on much more of the news that are going to be coming up in case of anything that is going to be happening. But of course, they also termed the Independence Day as a coup. So let me play this.
Authorities in Tanzania are warning people to stay at home on Tuesday, saying that protests planned to mark the country's Independence Day are unlawful and constitute an attempted coup. Activists and government opponents have called for protests after the violent crackdown on demonstrations during October's presidential election. Rights groups say hundreds of people were killed and thousands arrested. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has appointed a commission to investigate election-related violence, but denies that security forces acted improperly.
Please. It's just so crazy. But that is what is happening in Tanzania. Of course, like I said, much more news will be coming your way as we continue with today's shows. But as we move on from that, we also have on this other end Congo, which we talked about. They just recently had peace talks. That is Rwanda and Congo, who signed a peace talk. Of course, they had I don't know what that meeting was. These meetings they keep on attending, and in the presence of Trump. And when Trump became a president, we also had peace deals that were signed, but still didn't change a thing when it comes to Congo situation, insecurity, the violation, exploitation. It actually continued. So what happened, we saw, which we were discussing yesterday, 700 people so far were displaced after the peace talks. Now we have Sekedi, who's back with accusing Rwanda for breaking the ceasefire within 24 hours. I mean, this is what they do. It's giving Israel and Gaza type of shit. It's giving, that's what it's giving, all this ceasefire. Then the next minute you see Israel, throwing missiles at the same country that they just had a peace talk with. Ceasefire, come on. But let's listen.
In an address to Parliament on Monday, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi accused Rwanda of breaking a ceasefire deal just one day after it was signed. Dozens of armed groups are vying for control of the mineral-rich eastern DRC. Kigali backs the prominent M23 rebels.
This is where Nigeria is heading, like I said yesterday, sadly. And of course, most of the African countries are on the same situation. Kenya is also headed there. The fact that we're already involved in a Haiti situation, we're headed there. I don't know. We have the RSF also in Kenya. I saw a video, but I'm not sure clear what it was saying. I have to go look back. But we have the RSF presence in Kenya. So Nigeria is headed actually right there. We're going to be having peace talks between the France, America, and then the next minute you're going to be seeing bombs, people being killed, more jihadists, more bandits rising in the country.
Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame signed a US brokered deal in June and last week were in Washington to finalize the agreement. The very next day after the signing, units of the Rwandan Defense Forces conducted and supported heavy weapons attacks launched from the Rwandan town of Bugarama, causing heavy human and material damage, particularly in the localities of Kaziba.
It's crazy, man. Talking nonsense. That is all we can see. Talking nonsense. That is all I call it, literally. Same talking nonsense going on with Kenya. Kenya is still not backing out with supporting America in, of course, destroying Haiti, because that is what they're doing. There's no maintaining peace that they are doing. The actual fact is that we're cleaning a mess or getting in a mess that actually in the first place had nothing to do with us. This is more division among us Africans. No matter how far we are, we're being divided, and this is one of the ways.
These Kenyan police officers have just arrived in Haiti. They are part of the multinational UN-backed support mission for local police forces.
Now, remember, most of these people actually, I read the whole article of what was taking place before the deployment. That was the first group of the troops who went to Haiti. Some of them withdrew from the mission. Some of them, when they got there, they started complaining of how they're not being paid and all that. Some of them have been dying, and the reports come in actually very late. We recently had a parent who was very, very heartbroken after realizing they've been looking for their son who went on this mission and only to discover that this guy died 3 months ago, and the government of Kenya had no reports about it, didn't even, until the family actually had to go deeper on asking like, hey, what's happening? The government of Kenya had no clue about it, had no report about it. It's like we've been taken to a place also to die, and they don't care. You're cleaning the messes of people from the... This is just so messed up. This is so crazy. This is so diabolic. Why people are so crazy? What? Having type of mentality is so psychopathic. For real. You're taking people not only to a place where they're gonna die, but a place where they're not also gonna be paid. These are government to government deal, because remember also at the first, there was a first group of people who were taken there, but this was never on the reports. So after the guy died, and the family started requesting for the body back, the family was told this is a government to government matter. You cannot be involved. So question also is what are the deals again? What is written on these pieces of papers that we don't know? We need to see.
Launched in 2023. On 1st of October, the UN approved a much larger international security mission called the Gang Suppression.
It's crazy. Good morning to Jiba Jaba. Going to Haiti and you can't speak French. I mean, this is just so crazy. This is crazy. But also remember, let me see if I can find the article, because we had they took like a week of training out to learn French. Let me see if I can find the video as I can.
Force
have enabled well-synchronized operations that have dealt significant blows to the gangs tormenting this nation. This unity of purpose has been essential in mobilizing all available resources toward a single objective: the stability of the government, restoring security and dignity to the Haitian people.
Really?
There will be no...
The Haitians demonstrated from the country. Kenyans demonstrated. We also had some Haitians in America who demonstrated, begging Kenyans, begging the government of Kenya, begging Ruto, please don't deploy these people to our country. We're your brothers, we're your sisters, we're not enemies. This is America messing you up. Don't do this. But still, again, we go back to the deals. These are government to government matter. As a people, there's nothing as public participation. That doesn't apply. The democracy, that is your own term.
What if you left for those who choose to oppress and terrorize the innocent population of Haiti?
With the Haitian people,
The mission's results are so far mixed, but the force remains determined to achieve its targets.
as the force commander said, to relieve us.
We will not rest as GSF until our shared goal is achieved, a secure Haiti capable of conducting free, fair, and credible national elections.
Lies, and lies. And just to pull that very quickly, a reminder, because the internet, again, like they say, never forgets. These were Haitians who are actually demonstrating about, this was in Washington, D.C., where they were demonstrating, the article says the Haitians in Washington, D.C. protest approval of the deployment of Kenyan police officers in the Caribbean nation. That's one.
Biden murderer! Joe Biden criminal!
Majamaa na mkimkijua
US puppet! Kenya! Shame on you! William Ruto! US puppet!
Kenya, shame on you. Ruto, US puppet. So that's an evidence. So whatever this guy is talking about the bullshit he's saying, which is not making sense, we have the evidence. The Haitian people don't want you there. They never wanted you there. The Haitian people don't want you there. They never wanted you there. They demonstrated about it. Again, this is a continuation of slavery without us knowing. As a people, we're being divided in every possible way. Because I don't know how to call this. We're being made enemies of each other because next time, again, why should an Haitian come to Kenya? That's the first question. While their own country, or coming to this country, you have the people who are in your country helping your enemy destroy your country. Again, we go back to the same bullshit where we have Africans of, stay in your border. I stay in my border. The same thing, division. This is actually neo-colonialism very, very much active. Ruto is actually, this is the worst puppet, and in our very front eyes, I mean, all of them are puppets, but Ruto is doing it so, man, it's crazy. I mean, Samia also is in it. Museveni is in it. So is Kagame, all of them. But there's how this guy is just, he's doing things super quick. And at the same time, he's saying he wants to be here for 20 years. No, we're not going to be Tanzanians. I don't think Kenyans we're going to be Tanzanians. We're not going to be scared. We're not going to be scared. The same statement you made, and Kenyans still went outside. You killed a bunch of them, but still they came back outside. We're not going to allow dictatorship. I don't think it's going to work here. And again, I support more coups. They should be ready for more coups. If not coups militarily, the people, we're going to coup the country exactly like they want to tell me. We're going to coup the country. We're going to take over. Because this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. And then it goes back to also these fools who are also sent there. Because you're stupid. You're very stupid. You're not even being given like real militarily equipment or machines or whatever to fight. You're going with the same weak ass, number one, mentality, the same weak ass machines, getting killed by, this is just so crazy. Fix your country. It's so sad our education in Africa again. has really messed us as a people, because this is everything to do with education, everything we've been taught. I don't know how to describe this. This is actually how I see it. But as we move on from that, we have the main conversation of the day, which is coming from Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore has detained, or the Alliance Sahel state has detained 11 Nigerian soldiers. This is over the violation of the Alliance Sahel airspace. So I'm going to share another video, literally, which is a statement that came from Burkina Faso. And they're saying that this is a statement talking about Burkina Faso has detained 11 military personnel from Nigerian Air Force and seized their C-130 aircraft after the plane landed in Bobo-Dioulasso. I can't pronounce that correctly. Reportedly due to an in-flight emergency while operating in Burkinabè airspace without prior authorization. The incident was confirmed by Alliance Sahel State and the regional bloc comprising Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, which described the fight as a violation of the airspace and sovereignty of prompting them to launch an immediate investigation. So let me share this video of what literally took place as we get to continue.
Statement from the Confederation of Sahel States, AES, regarding the violation of confederal airspace. The Confederation of Sahel States informs the public that an aircraft belonging to the Air Force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a C-130 type aircraft, was forced to land today, December 8, 2025, in Bobo-Dioulasso, Burkina Faso, following an in-flight emergency while it was operating in Burkinabè airspace. The military plane had on board 2 crew members and 9 passengers, all of whom were military personnel. An investigation was immediately launched by the competent Burkinabè authorities, which revealed that...
Of course, remember some time back last month, we had Ibrahim Traore who said he's going to release the names of the people involved, and that is coming from Nigeria, who are trying to, again, mess with their sovereignty.
There was no authorization for this aircraft to fly over Burkinabè territory by this military aircraft. The Confederation of Sahel States strongly condemns this violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. In response to this unfriendly act, carried out in disregard of international law and international civil and/or military aviation regulations, measures have been taken to ensure the security of the Confederation's airspace, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of its member states, as well as the safety of the populations of the AES Confederation. In this regard, and on the instructions of the heads of state, the air and anti-air defenses of the Confederation's airspace have been placed on maximum alert in accordance with the declaration of the College of Heads of State dated December 22nd, 2024. They have been authorized to neutralize any aircraft that violates the Confederation's airspace.
Okay, sure.
Done at Bamako, December 8, 2025, signed General of the Army Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition, Head of State of the Republic of Mali, President of the Confederation of Sahel States, AES.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, for staying with us.
Good evening. We have some. Thank you very much. Statement from the Confederation of Sahel States, AES, regarding the violation of the Confederation's airspace. The Confederation of Sahel States informs the public that an aircraft belonging to the Air Force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a C-130 type, was forced to land today, December 8, 2025, in Bobo-Dioulasso, Burkina Faso. This followed an in-flight emergency situation while it was flying in Burkinabè airspace. The military aircraft was carrying 2 crew members and 9 passengers, all of whom were military personnel.
Yeah, this is them trying to get to Burkina Faso, literally the Alliance Sahel state. They're really, ECOWAS is tensed. France is tensed, so is the US. Literally all these countries who are in partnership with Africa, they're of course tensing. Not only are the people rising, but the military coups are many. So they're trying as much as they can to control them, to bring back to the so-called civilization, the civil government, and all that. So this is them literally trying to destroy or get into the Alliance Sahel state.
An investigation was immediately launched by the competent Burkinabè authorities, and it revealed that there was no authorization for the aircraft to fly over Burkinabè territory by this military aircraft. The Confederation of Sahel States strongly condemns this violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. In response to this unfriendly act, carried out in disregard of international law and international civil and/or military aviation regulations, measures have been taken to ensure the security of the Confederation's airspace as well as the sovereignty and territorial integrity of its member states, as well as the safety of the populations of the AES Confederation. In this regard, and on the instructions of the heads of state, the air and anti-air defenses of the Confederation's airspace have been placed on maximum alert. In accordance with the declaration of the College of Heads of State dated December 22nd, 2024, authorization has been given to neutralize any aircraft that violates Confederation airspace.
To land in Burkina Faso.
Thank you.
Very well, Mr. Minister.
West Africa has just been shaken. A Nigerian military jet forced to land in Burkina Faso, a sovereign country standing up and saying, enough. This isn't just an airspace violation. It's a wake-up call. Something deeper is brewing beneath the surface, and Africa must pay attention. In this video, we expose the full story behind this escalating tension, the silent hand of France behind the scenes, and what this moment means for the future of our continent.
Okay. Now the dots are clicking. Insecurity. Come on. Now this makes sense. We just had France talking with Nigeria the other day about insecurity. And the question is, why would France do this while America already showed interest of wanting to be involved with matters of insecurity in Nigeria? Oh, of course they're friends. They're gonna talk it out. Allow me to use the same bullshit, but this time I wanna go get back the other country. Oh my God, the dots actually clicking. Oh shit! So France this is nothing to do with security in Nigeria. This is something to do with the Alliance Sahel state, and they're using Nigeria for this. Amazing and very interesting. Oh shit.
This is not fear-mongering. This is clarity, power, and truth. This is Make Africa Great, where we speak for the future of Africa, with courage and with purpose. On a tense Monday morning, Burkina Faso's Air Defense Command ordered a Nigerian Air Force C-130 to land after it allegedly entered Burkinabè airspace without proper clearance. The aircraft, carrying 11 soldiers, was intercepted and grounded, an unprecedented move between two African nations. According to Burkina Faso's official news agency, this was not a mistake. It was labeled a grave breach of sovereignty. The Confederation of Sahel States, made up of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, immediately released a stern statement, warning against future military violations. Behind the scenes, reports emerged that Nigeria had sent military personnel to assist Benin, which had requested help to suppress internal unrest. But here's the
doing what in Burkina Faso then?
twist. Nigeria's constitution doesn't allow such a move without Senate approval, unless there's a direct threat to Nigeria's own security. No such threat was present. This incident isn't just about a plane, it's about power. The Sahel Alliance is rising, declaring its independence from ECOWAS, from foreign influence, and from what they see as Western puppetry. Burkina Faso's actions are part of a larger stand, a stand for sovereignty. On the other side, ECOWAS, largely led by Nigeria, is still under pressure from Western powers, especially France, to maintain regional control.
Of course.
Some experts argue that France is manipulating ECOWAS nations.
Of course, they're not manipulating, they control. There's a difference. They're not manipulating them, they're controlling them. This is nothing to do with manipulation. They control Africa. And that's why it's crazy. Again, I go back to the video of Senegal. We own that oil. Are you crazy? This is just crazy, man.
To suppress the growing independence of the Sahel bloc. Africa finds itself split, not by its people, but by strategic interests. This is the silent
strategic interest. Exactly. That is what exactly is happening between Kenya and Haiti. And who is in the middle? The white man is there, watching you all fight as he grabs what he can. That is what is happening. Or keep the distraction going on here.
war for Africa's future. And while governments clash, the people must understand what's really happening. Let's be honest. France has a long history in West Africa, colonial, economic, and military. And today, many African nations are waking up to the cost of that relationship. Recent years have seen Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso expel French troops, close French bases, and cut military ties.
Exactly.
Now, according to political analysts, France is allegedly pressuring Nigeria to act as a regional enforcer, using its military strength to neutralize threats to French influence. The incident in Benin and Burkina Faso may just be the latest sign of this dangerous game. If President Tinubu continues to listen to Macron without clear national interest, Nigeria may find itself fighting a war not for Africa, but for France.
Didn't I say the same thing? That is why exactly Nigeria, and they're going to start also fighting their own war because it's already there. The fact that the US is very much present there, the British colonial system is very much present in Nigeria, and so are the rest, scrambling for the same goddamn oil. It's already there, like it's already in Nigeria. Leave alone them starting to fight with. No, it's already. This is going to affect Nigeria too. We're going to be having the same bullshit. But the difference is it's a puppet. So he's going to allow it to happen. It's not like what Ibrahim Traore is doing. Say, get out. I've had enough. No.
And that would be a tragedy. This is bigger than Burkina Faso, bigger than Nigeria. What we're seeing is a regional reset. African nations are beginning to challenge the old systems of control,
of course,
both external and internal.
Yep.
The people are demanding sovereignty, transparency, unity. We want African solutions to African problems, not foreign interference disguised as help.
No cooperations, collaboration bullshit.
The youth are watching, the world is watching. What leaders choose now will define our future. Will they choose short-term deals in silence, or will they stand for Africa?
They like shooting. They like choosing the short deals instead. Oh my God, they like it. They love it. Do you know why they look so good on those suits? I mean, assuming they look good. They look good according to them in those balloon stomachs and all. They like signing the deals because if they didn't like it from the word go, like I always say, we go back to the structure. If you have a strategy of leading the country, you go back to the structure, or even a company. You must have a strategy and a structure. Go back, see why is this system collapsing? Why is this failing? What can I make a difference of? But what they chose to do is continue with the same deals that were left by the colonial system from the word go. We're gonna control Africa, and you're not gonna say shit. We want you to wear the good suit. Be a good boy, okay? Otherwise, we're watching you. And of course, they have set examples of we are watching you. How many times do we see the real Pan-African leaders who try to make a change, go against the real deal that the colonial system left, eating some bubble gums? So they like the shortcuts. It's not about Africans, nah.
By Africa, with Africa.
That's why they're threatened, because
this is a chance.
The scam is not gonna work anymore. Ibrahim Traore is showing Africans you've been lied to. You can actually work without the white people. You don't need no China. Unless this is a benefit to benefit, tit for tat type of situation, we're saying no more. And as a matter of fact, we're taking control of our economy. And the country is flourishing. I mean, I want to go to Burkina Faso, for real. The country looks really nice. Electricity, people are living good now. The roads, hospitals, schools being rebuilt, houses, and affordable. Not this bullshit Ruto is preaching about. Taking people's houses, demolishing people's houses, and saying that title deed doesn't exist, so you can put your affordable fake houses there. It's crazy, man.
Not for war, but for wisdom, for dialogue, for realignment on African terms. West Africa is standing at a crossroads. What happened between Nigeria and Burkina Faso must not be ignored. It's a lesson, a warning, and a moment for deep reflection.
Exactly. Then these puppets are not your friends too. Exactly. They're not your friends too. Actually, they're not even friends of each other. Do you know the crazy part is? This is how the African hate, I think, if it makes sense, hate of self or self-hate, how it runs so deep. These people don't even like each other. Apart from just not even liking us, the majority that they can go against us, they don't like each other. These people can actually break each other's back behind each other, for real. That's the crazy part. They don't like each other. It's like they've really been affected by the real nature of the white people being warmongers to the point. I don't think they really like each other. They just have to do what they have to do because the white man is watching.
African nations must stop allowing foreign powers to dictate our conflicts and solutions. We must unite, not fight. We must build, not break. If you're watching this, you are part of the new Africa. The Africa that questions, that learns, and that leads.
Exactly.
Share this video. Let others know what the media won't say. Subscribe to make Africa great, Africa strong, Africa united.
Yeah, greetings and welcome.
Yeah, so that is what is happening. Excuse me. That is what is happening literally in Burkina Faso and their land Sahel state. And shout out to Ibrahim Traore and Niger, literally Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali for putting such a strong foundation. I'm going to call it a strong foundation because that means literally the Burkina Faso or their land Sahel state tech is very high, very invested on, because for them to detect this, of course, they must have a really, I don't know how to go into those details, so pardon me, I'm going to call it tech. So they must have really invested on their tech. Remember, they also had CCTVs installed everywhere around the country to be on the watch on anything that can happen, just in case of anything, because of course he knows his life is on danger. So I approve literally, and I congratulate the Alliance Sahel State for pulling that amazing game. And so much. ECOWAS is literally pressured. East Africa is also pressured because in January we have elections. And you know what Museveni said? Yesterday we had Museveni talking about how he's going to shut down the internet so that people cannot stream any bullshit. Okay, like he likes talking shit like he always does. He said he's going to shut down the internet. That is on January, because the elections are happening on January 2026. So he's going to shut down the internet, literally. So here it is. Let me share this page. No, I think my page is not shared. Let me share my page. Yeah, so Museveni, this is the bullshit that the African and the youth are actually saying no to, because for how long do you want to become or keep on dictating people and you're not even delivering a goddamn thing? The worst pain of it is that they don't even do anything. All you do is just extract from the people and the country. Not even just the country, now it's the people. The taxes are crazy. People are tired. But yeah, we have in Uganda the government which confirmed plans to shut down the internet ahead of the January election. And this is to impose restrictions on the internet access, including the outright banning of major social media platforms should the rapid spread of election misinformation persist. And the Electoral Commission acting as Secretary Commissioner Ronald Kamugisha confirmed that the prospective measures yesterday while addressing the press in Kampala. Mr. Kamugisha stated that the popular platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and Instagram are all under review ahead of the general election set for mid-January 2026. And this one comes in as in a climate of already heightened tension, recalling the national shutdown of social media networks just days before 2021 election, a restriction from which Facebook has yet to be fully restored. And the commission say that the decision stems from a recent engagement between Africa Electoral Commission with the representatives of major social media platforms in Benin, And he reported that Africa electoral bodies challenged the companies on their failure to curb harmful content, warning them that the government were being forced to take drastic actions. And one of the things he said, and I quote, "We pointed out to them that our governments have been left with no choice when some of these things happen, and other than shutting down the internet altogether," Mr. Kamugishi explained, and he accused the companies of having created a monster that they could not regulate properly. I mean, come on. If you talk about, there's so many things. If you talk about Meta being accused about so many things, Meta has been accused about so many things. Come on. Meta was accused of showing, I think, pornographic videos. There's a time Meta was literally where we had Zuckerberg talking and saying that they couldn't control that, or they were not aware of that. They show violating videos and they still don't censor that. It's crazy how they can show pornographic videos or some really diabolic videos, but they want to censor the real things that now the people are supposed to be knowing about. When people are practicing democracy, like demonstrating, that should not, that now that is being taken down on the internet. Because about Kenya's demonstration, you can't find a lot of that information like it was in 2024. Over 500,000 videos were taken down from the Kenyan TikTok. And still more to come. Cyber crime, whatever bullshit. It's crazy. So that is what is happening in Uganda. So Ugandans, you have a lot of work to do as well. And remember, this is happening the same time because they're saying also during the October elections in the neighboring country, Tanzania, the internet was switched off, a move tragically linked to widespread violence. Disturbing reports later emerged that the security forces allegedly used immediate and lethal forces against the youth-led protest following the restoration of the internet. Experts estimated that at least 700 individuals were not over 700. There were more than 10,000 people were extrajudicially killed in the aftermath, and with chilling accounts of victims, bodies disappearing from morgues, and allegations of human remains being incinerated or buried in mass graves. So that is what is happening in Uganda. And I see one of the comment from one of our Kenyans here saying, "Tell me you are a dictator without shouting." I know it's crazy. And someone also says, "Tell me you are a dictator without shouting." Sorry, not dictator without shouting. That is Museveni. Museveni is a dictator and he doesn't shout about it. He openly tells you how the people love him. That's the difference, you know. The people love me. The Gen Z want me in power. It's crazy. But yes, we're coming to the end of today's conversation. But before I do that, shout out to everyone with me this amazing morning. Kindly hit that like button as you tune in. I was a little bit late today because of the lights. They were off, but thank God they're back. But yes, we keep the shows going. I see John Mosquito, welcome. And of course, I also see John Mosquito earlier was talking about, I literally just got home from work and just started, you started your show. Yeah, I was late because of the lights. Actually, I was really early in the studio, but immediately I wanted to start my show. Ruto said rationing is here, baby. And I also see John Mosquito says, right, the demonstration in Tanzania was scheduled for 9th, which is today, but a lot of information is still not yet out, so we'll be keeping you guys updated. Jiba also says it's about the US attempting to end root China and the EU on the mining contracts for rare earth minerals. Is it about the US attempting to end the root China and the EU on the mining contracts for rare earth minerals? All of them benefit. All of them benefit. I don't think this is nothing even to do with the... All of them benefit. I don't see any good friend at all, personally, if you ask me. All of them benefit in their own ways. They do. So it's nothing to do, for me, I think it's nothing to do with the US only. But also see Juba says he looks like that Adodo Ghana guy. I don't know who's that. And also adds, what happened to the first batch of soldiers? Did barbecue get them? Not much information. Some of them died when they were deployed there. Some of them started complaining they're not being paid well. And Yeah, literally those are the updates that have been happening. Not being paid, some of them dying. We don't have much details. The government, of course, is not following up unless you're dead and unless the family also demands your body, which you can be told this is a government to government matter again. Jib also says sent to Haiti and can't speak French. And no, it's crazy. But I was just looking at that literally, and Google confirmed to me that yes, Kenyan police officers are deployed to Haiti for the multinational security support, that is the MSS mission, are being taught French and Haitians Creole to overcome language barriers and effectively communicate with local institutions and people, with training sponsored by the French government to aid their anti-gang stabilization efforts. I mean, French again is in the presence. I mean, and the US is still in the presence. See how it's nothing to do with the US alone. They're all involved, all of them. And these linguistic skills are crucial for success in the mission, enabling better integration and operational effectiveness in the French Creole-speaking Caribbean nation. And the key details is of course, I'm not going to read all that, but shout out to them and I wish them all the best. How do you learn a language that's just within months? It takes you years. Like, John Mosquito barely knows even how to say habari, just as he says habari in German, zuri, everything all together. So it takes years for you to learn something. But I also see Jibajaba also says, I'd watch the white guy in the white suit. He looks affiliated. And I also see someone in the building, Karibu Sana says, Andrew Holness is in it too, that traitor. Him and your president are friends. Ruto is a friend of everyone. Ruto is everyone's friend so long as you're on his line and his side. Bet you are his friend. And also see Jibajaba says, and die serving the country and commander doesn't know you died and is ridiculous and inexcusable for a nation. I know it's really crazy, but that is what is happening. And also see your questioning, has Trump talked shit about Ibrahim to your knowledge? No, not yet. All I know is that a couple of times with the summits that have been held in America, Ibrahim Traore said no, he's not going to attend. Trump has been consistently trying to send his letters, his invitations, but Ibrahim Traore says he doesn't have time. Okay, he'd rather go to Mali or Niger or Africa, but specifically not other countries, right? And also see John Mosquito said Tinubu's heart alone is enough to piss me off. And Jibajaba says Ruto with that yellow pimp suit. I know it's crazy. And the smile. He can also, he pimps also with a smile. It's so crazy. And Jib also asked, there's a lot of porn on Twitter. I mean, why wouldn't they restrict that? But when the demonstration, the real democracy is being done by the people, that is wrong. It's crazy. And also saying they don't care about perversion, exactly. And I pronounce it how I like that woman, period. That's so sad, man. Abari in German, Zurich, Karibu, all of it together. You and Keith are on the same WhatsApp group. But literally coming to the end of today's conversation right there. Thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in. This has been the Pan-African Bliss. And of course, that has been my time with you all. So those who are just tuning in right now, Asante Sana, but ensure you catch this on a replay. Catch up with the conversations we've talked about, what is happening in Tanzania demonstration, which is happening today. Much details will be coming on other shows. We've talked about what is happening in Congo with Felix Kedi and Kagame, fake lies of peace talks. More Kenyans being deployed in Haiti, and we have Burkina Faso detaining over 11 soldiers, Nigerian, who have violated their airspace, and so much information coming also on other shows. But have yourselves a beautiful day. That has been my time to you. But as we wind up to our brothers of Tanzania again, I'm back on the network and on the radio. Catch up with Shumani and Iwatan. I'm about to make that ugali right now. I'm so hungry. Goddamn. Alternate in the building, it says Ibrahim knows he needs a nuclear weapon. A nuclear weapon. Of course. I think they did partner with Russia. Remember, I reported that they partnered with Russia to put one in the country. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Africa needs a military. Much love, family. This was a beautiful day.
It's me.